The fluorescent hum of the International Airport customs area is a dull throb against your skull, a constant companion to the low murmur of 1,000 languages blending into an unintelligible drone. You stand near the barrier, not as a passenger, nor as the official you once were, but as a ghost haunting familiar corridors. The air, recycled and thin, carries the faint metallic tang of jet fuel mixed with cheap cologne and the stale anxiety of travel. Your eyes, accustomed to seeking anomalies, track the faces passing through the green and red lanes. A young couple, hands clasped, giddy with arrival. A lone figure, briefcase clutched, eyes darting, too quick, too guarded. You see the tells, the micro-expressions that once were your bread and butter, now just a silent, academic exercise. The weight of the badge you no longer carry is a phantom limb, a constant ache in your chest. Marcus Thorne, a name whispered with a certain derision in certain circles, a man whose reputation precedes him like a storm cloud. Each face is a story, none of them yours, and that's how you prefer it. The world spins on, oblivious to the quiet demolition of your own. It has been years since the journalist's murder, years since the case that splintered your career and left your name synonymous with failure. A cold knot tightens in your gut at the memory, a phantom scent of stale coffee and fear. They called it a random act, a street-level brutality. You knew better, but your voice was drowned out, your evidence dismissed, your career extinguished. You don't flinch, don't turn immediately. Your peripheral vision registers the tailored suit, the crisp white shirt, the glint of expensive watch. This isn't a random traveler. This is a deliberate approach. Marcus Thorne, a voice, smooth as polished riverstone, pronounces your name. It's not a question, but a statement of recognition, laced with an undercurrent of authority you haven't heard directed at you in a long time. You turn slowly, your gaze lifting from the scuffed linoleum to meet the eyes of the man. He is older, his face etched with the subtle lines of command in late nights, but his posture is ramrod straight. He carries himself with the quiet confidence of someone who understands power. You don't know him, but you know his type. You have the wrong man, you say, your voice a low rasp, and used to anything beyond the occasional exchange with the corner shop owner. The figure offers a faint, knowing smile. I assure you, I do not. Particular talents, even in your current retirement, are quite persistent. He pauses, his eyes scanning the milling crowd, a practiced gesture of discretion. I represent certain interests. Interests that have recently unearthed a rather inconvenient detail regarding a past investigation of yours. Your jaw tightens. The journalist. The word hangs unspoken in the air between you, heavy and sharp. You feel the familiar, unwelcome prickle of adrenaline, a ghost of the hunt. There's nothing left to unearth, you respond, your voice edged with the bitterness of forced resignation. That case was closed. Filed away. A new thread has emerged. A very specific thread, Marcus. One that points not to a random street crime, but to something far more intricate. Something that touches upon a prominent politician, a current presidential campaign, and the very fabric of power. He reaches into his inner jacket pocket, not a threat, but a calculated gesture. He produces a small, folded photograph. His fingers, long and elegant, pass it to you. You take it. The image is grainy, slightly blurred, but instantly recognizable. It's a surveillance shot, a still from a security camera. In the foreground, partially obscured, is a familiar face, the journalist, alive, vibrant, captured in a fleeting moment of intense conversation with a figure whose back is to the camera. But it's not the journalist that commands your attention. It's the background. A faint, almost imperceptible symbol, carved into the stone wall behind them. A symbol you remember, a detail you dismissed as irrelevant in the initial, flawed investigation. A serpent coiled around a stylized quill. This wasn't just a new lead, it was a detonation. This symbol, almost invisible, yet now glaring, was a signature. A clue missed, or perhaps deliberately hidden. This changes everything, you murmur, the photograph burning in your hand. The tension in your shoulders, a constant companion for years, suddenly feels different. It's no longer the weight of failure, but the coiled spring of anticipation. Indeed, the figure agrees, retrieving the photograph with a gentle tug. It suggests the original inquiry was curtailed, misdirected, and the trail leads much higher than anyone dared to imagine. He meets your gaze, his eyes sharp and unblinking. We need someone who understands the ghost of that case. Someone who knows where the bodies are buried, even if they were never found. We need Marcus Thorne. The offer hangs in the air, a lifeline woven from the very threads of your downfall. Redemption, or a deeper entanglement. The choice, stark and unforgiving, is yours. Your old world, the one you painstakingly dismantled, is calling you back. The insistent thrum of a forgotten melody now twists into a discordant whisper, a siren call from the past you swore to bury. The offer, a shadowed hand extended, hovers before you in the sterile glare of the International Airport customs area. You feel the weight of countless eyes, though none truly see the battle raging behind your own. The shame, a familiar cloak, tries to pull you back, but something else stirs, a stubborn ember in the ashes of your career. Your jaw tightens, a muscle knotting beneath the stubble. You nod, a slight, almost imperceptible dip of your head. A silent acknowledgement passes, a flicker in the eyes of the one who brought the offer. The aide, a slender figure in an impeccably tailored suit, steps forward from the periphery of the customs queue. No words are exchanged, only a heavy, unmarked briefcase pressed into your hands. The weight of it is immediate, a leaden promise of forgotten secrets. You retreat to a deserted alcove near the baggage claim carousels, the rhythmic clatter a dull backdrop to the rising storm within you. The briefcase unlatches with a soft click, revealing a meticulously organized stack of folders. The air, thick with the scent of recycled air and faint disinfectant, now carries the musty tang of aged paper and forgotten injustice. You pull out the top file, the name of the murdered journalist, a name etched into the topography of your personal ruin, staring back at you in bold, typewritten letters. The original case report, yellowed and brittle at the edges, details the scene, a quiet alleyway, a single, precise wound, valuables untouched. A robbery gone wrong, the official conclusion read. Your eyes scan the words, searching for the phantom thread you missed all those years ago. Your gaze lingers on a detail you dismissed as insignificant, a small, almost imperceptible symbol etched into the brickwork near the body. 3 intersecting lines, forming an abstract triangle. You remember seeing it, noting it, then filing it away as meaningless graffiti. Now, a fresh wave of documents lies beneath the old. Crisp, newly printed reports, digital printouts of news articles, transcripts of recent political speeches. You shuffle through them, a growing sense of unease coiling in your gut. A campaign flyer for the prominent politician catches your eye. His polished smile, his confident posture. You flip it over. On the reverse, a small, stylized logo for his political action committee. Your breath hitches. The customs area, once a cacophony of distant voices and rolling luggage, seems to fall silent around you. The coincidence is too stark, too precise to be mere chance. You delve deeper, your fingers tracing the words, your mind a whirlwind of forgotten details and burgeoning suspicions. A current exposé, widely publicized in the political sphere, targets the politician. For alleged ties to an opaque network of shell corporations, echoing the very scandal the journalist pursued. The pieces, once scattered shards of glass, begin to refract light, forming a distorted, terrifying image. The official narrative, a random act of violence, shatters. Was he misled? Or worse, was he steered away? The stakes are higher than your own tarnished badge. They are woven into the nation's trust, into the very concept of justice. You look at the symbol again, the three intersecting lines. It's not just a logo, it's a brand, a mark of ownership, a silent signature of an organization that operates with impunity, pulling strings from the highest echelons. The game has begun, and you are no longer a spectator. You are a pawn, or perhaps, a ghost returning to haunt the living. You feel the weight of countless eyes, though none truly see the decision solidifying behind your gaze. A breath held, then released, a silent pact made with the ghosts of your past. The hand retracts, its purpose served, leaving a chill in its wake, yet a spark ignites within the long-dormant embers of Marcus Thorne. The city, a sprawling beast of concrete and glass, swallows you whole. Its familiar contours, once a source of pride, now feel like the scarred landscape of a battlefield. Your first pilgrimage is to the place where it all began, where the brilliant light of an investigative journalist was snuffed out. The skeletal remains of the old printing press building loom against a bruised sky, its broken windows like vacant eyes staring into your past. Years have passed since the chalk outline faded from the grimy pavement, since the official report declared it a random, tragic act. But the memory, a splinter of glass beneath your skin, remains. You push through a rusted service door, the groan of metal a lament for forgotten truths. Dust motes dance in the slivers of light piercing the gloom, illuminating the debris of time, overturned desks, scattered paper, the ghosts of stories untold. The air hangs heavy with the scent of mildew and decay, a grim perfume for a place of death. You walk the perimeter, your boots crunching on shattered glass, your eyes tracing the phantom steps of the original investigation. In what was once the journalist's small, cluttered office, a space now ravaged by vandals and neglect, you pause. The walls, stripped bare, offer no immediate comfort, no obvious sign. But then, your gaze catches on a barely perceptible anomaly. Behind a loose, water-stained baseboard, nestled deep within the crumbling plaster, something glints. You pry it open, fingers brushing away centuries of grime. It's a small, tarnished locket, no bigger than your thumb, intricately carved with a depiction of a soaring falcon. Its clasp is stiff, resisting your efforts. With a focused twist, it springs open. Inside, a tiny, tightly rolled piece of parchment, no bigger than a grain of rice, is tucked away. You carefully unroll it. Scrawled in minuscule, almost illegible script, is a sequence, 7-14-22/Orion/40.7128 degrees north, 74.0060 degrees west. A shiver traces a path down your spine. This was no random act. The journalist had been hunting something. Your next stop is a dimly lit diner, the kind where coffee flows endlessly and secrets are served with a side of greasy eggs. You slide into a worn booth, the plastic cool against your arm. Thought you'd buried this ghost. Some ghosts refuse to stay buried, you reply, your voice steady. I need to know what he was working on, truly. Not the official story. The former editor's gaze drops to his cup, a nervous habit. It was a long time ago. He was intense. Always digging where she shouldn't. I warned her. Warned her about what? You lean forward, the scent of stale coffee thick in the air. He sighs, a heavy, weary sound. Just powerful people. She talked about Orion, a network, she called it. I told her it was too big, too dangerous. She wouldn't listen. He looks up, his eyes wide with a genuine, desperate plea. Marcus, let it go. For your own sake. Some things are best left undisturbed. There are forces you don't want to cross. Later, you find the precinct captain, a man whose career you once helped build, now ensconced in the polished comfort of a corner office. The air here is crisp, almost clinical, a stark contrast to the decay of the printing press. He offers you a lukewarm greeting, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. Thorne, he says, leaning back in his chair, a carefully constructed image of authority. Heard you're stirring up old dust. That case is closed. Solved. Was it, you counter, your gaze unwavering? Or was it swept under the rug? You mention the locket, the cryptic coordinates. His smile falters. A flicker of something, annoyance? Fear? Crosses his face. Marcus, don't be foolish. The official report stands. We had a suspect, a drifter. Case closed. Reopening it now, after all these years. It's a waste of resources. And it could cause trouble for you. For everyone involved. His voice drops, a low, controlled rumble. You have no badge, no authority. Digging into this could be unhealthy. The message is clear, delivered with the polite menace of a man who knows where the bodies are buried. The former editor's fear, the precinct captain's veiled threat, they are not random acts of caution. Powerful forces want this case to remain a closed chapter, a forgotten tragedy. But the coordinates, the name Orion, burn in your mind, a new constellation guiding your grim journey. You are no longer just seeking redemption, you are hunting a truth they desperately want to keep buried.